think I need more light. One of the DIY jobs that I am absolutely terrible at is fitting roller blinds like this one. I mean, just look at the state of it. Actually, don't just look at it, listen to it. So SwitchBot have sent me this. This is their new smart roller shade. And not only is it smart, so you can control it with your phone or a smart button, but it's also supposed to be really easy to install, which is going to be very handy for me. So I'm going to try and install it on this bathroom window. So let's see how I get on. So the roller shade comes with a lot of instructions, and I suggest you read through all of them very carefully because there are a lot of steps and you don't want to get anything wrong. Now, you can install it either on the inside of the window frame like I've got here with this one, or on the outside. Now, I'm going to install it on the outside of the window frame because I don't think it goes down. So it is size adjustable. So it will, this is the small version, and I'll put the measurements on the screen for the window that this will cover, but I don't think it goes down quite small enough for this particular window. But either way, I want to install it on the outside because that way I get more of a blackout effect. And this blind, the blind material itself is blackout material, so that's going to be quite useful. First step, of course, is I've got to somehow remove the old blind, so see if I can figure that out. Right, it's a bit of a state up there, so I'm going to go and get a cloth to clean this before I begin. So step one is actually to remove the material from the blind itself, which is a bit tricky. So I've removed that. Now on the material you can see there are these red tapes wrapped around it. You've got to leave those on so as the blind will hold itself together while you're installing it. So now you need to decide how wide you want the blind to be, because you can adjust the width. They suggest that you have it set at least 2.5 centimeters either side of the window frame. I think I've got about 5 centimeters either side here, and I reckon that'll look good. Just tighten up the screws to make sure it stays there. So then you take the bit of metal that goes at the bottom of the blind material, the sort of weight that hangs off the bottom, and you sort of adapt it with these bits of card on either side, and they even give you a spirit level that goes in the middle. And you're going to use this to work out where you need to put the screw holes above your window frame. Gonna need the ladder for this bit. That's almost level. I think that is centered and level, so let's mark the positions. See, this is always the bit that goes wrong for me. Let's see if the plugs fit. Yes, they do. And then we have to fit these couple of brackets on the wall for the headrail to clip into. I knew that wouldn't go perfectly. Looks like I need a cavity fix in there, so I'll be back in a minute. Right, that looks better. Let's see if it's still level. That's about as close as I think I'm going to manage. So this is the part of the process that I'm probably the most nervous about, because we've got to cut the fabric to the right length to match the headrail that we've resized. And it comes with this automatic cutting tool. What could possibly go wrong with an automatic cutting tool? So first of all, I've got to put this back into the headrail so as I can mark up where I need to cut it. Right then, here we go. I have to press resize fabric on my phone. It should spin this roller really slowly, and I tighten up a blade until it's cut all the fabric. Oh, I forgot a step. You have to wrap this special tape around the roller in the position that you're going to cut it first. It holds it together or something, so I better just do that before I start cutting. I knew I'd do something wrong. Ooh, there we go. Let's go. And I tighten this, and I Keep going all the way down. And there's a little bit of plastic on the side of the cutter, and when that gets to the bottom, that's when you stop apparently. I think that's it. Cutting finished. So that has worked, as you can see, but the next step is to open the blind out totally, so flatten it out so as I can tidy up this end here. But to do that, I'm going to need a lot more space, so I'm going to go down into my lounge and roll this out across the floor down there, and I'll be back in a couple of minutes once I've got this to the right length. So this bit is a bit trickier than I thought. So you can see I've spread the entire blind material out across the floor. It's quite long, and then at this end there was this huge plastic tube. So you take this plastic tube off, and then I had to use a baby hacksaw to cut the piece off that I needed to keep. So that's the bit I need to keep, and that goes on the end. I can't do that with one hand, but that'll go on the end there, and then I adjust these screws here to bring this metal pole back in line with the actual length of the material. So that's the next step to do. Right, I'm back and it's time to assemble the device. So let's have a go at doing that. And there's an end cap somewhere. Yeah, there it is. I just have to put these screws in here. Once again, I failed to read the instructions properly. I haven't installed this rail thing that goes on the bottom of the material. Let's take the blind off again. Inside the box is a piece of flexible plastic, and it looks like the sort of plastic strap that you get wrapped around pallets and things like that, but keep it. It's actually needed to go on the bottom of the blind material, so make sure you don't throw it away. They give you a little stapler as well, and you staple the plastic material to the blind. Okay, that's the weighty bit done. Let's put it back on the roll again. Okay, time to see if it actually goes up. So let's have a go. Fit the back bit first up. Oh, yeah, that looks about right. So now you have to calibrate it in the app. So let's see what this involves. So I've got the standard roll, so it's going down the back. Let's select that. Calibration may stop if the head rail is uneven. Okay. And it's rolling up. There we go. Your device stopped rolling. Check whether it's stuck. It's not stuck, it's at the top, so it's rolled up. Set your roller shade's rolled up position. So we probably want it about there, I think. Next, set it to a shading position. I think that's going to be all the way closed. It's pretty quiet compared to the IKEA ones. Takes a while though. A little bit more. There we go, finish. Calibration, calibrated successfully. Start using. That's swipe up for action, swipe up. There we go. Oh, that's a picture of the blind. Oh, it's much faster when you're not calibrating, so it's a bit louder. So if I fully open it, yeah, it's noisier because it's going faster. So that's installed now, and that probably took me about an hour and a half. I think I started about 10 o'clock and it's now 11:30. So some of that time was me messing around with the cameras, trying to film it right. So you could probably take maybe half an hour of me messing about off. And also, I didn't read the instructions properly a couple of times, so I was doing a bit of back and forth trying to figure that out. So if you read the instructions properly, you'd probably install this in under an hour. I totally forgot, there's also a little switch that you can install so as you can open and close it manually, and they sent me a solar panel as well. So in theory I should be able to put this solar panel in the window and it will keep it charged forever, so I never have to charge it up. It's supposed to last, I think, 9 months on a single charge, and then in the bottom of the button here is a USB-C port, so you can just plug into there to charge your blind up. You don't have to use a mains power supply. I guess you could use a battery pack if you didn't have a power socket in your bathroom, which most people don't, but you probably won't install this in a bathroom. You'll probably install it somewhere more sensible, like a bedroom. Like a 3.5mm plug, and it goes into a little socket that's just underneath the blind like that. That's a little bit messy, I think, but you can use this little rubber cable tidy thing to wrap the cable around and keep it neater. I'll see how that works now. So the switch is all installed now. I've put it down here and it's just outside of where the blind material is when it's fully closed, so as you can actually reach the button. I don't particularly like the big wire that's hanging down. I'll see how it goes, but I might actually not have that there. I might put a wireless button in and just like use like a SwitchBot Bluetooth button you can get that can have an automation that will open and close it. But I've got the solar panel here as well. This is quite clever. It took me a little while to figure it out, but you have to take the back off the solar panel, and inside there is a cable. And that cable will go into the blind itself. So I'm going to see if I can fit this in the window. There's a couple of sticky pads there that you take the cover off them, and it should stick straight to the glass. So I've just discovered a bit of a problem that I should have thought about before. But if you look at this solar panel, there's a wire going all the way up to the blind so as it can charge it. But watch what happens when I open the window. Yeah, I can't really use the solar panel in this layout because otherwise I can't open my window. Problem solved. I've reversed the material on the blind, so I had to take it all apart again, open the whole blind material out in the lounge, and then roll it up the other way around, put it back into the headrail, reassemble it, recalibrate it, and now all the cables are down this side, and the solar panel comes on the hinge side of the window, and I can now open the window, and there's enough slack there for the wire to the solar panel to not get stretched or damaged. So much better. If you've made it through watching all of that, then I guess you'll be wanting a bit of a conclusion. Let's start off with the bad stuff. I really don't like that wired switch. It looks absolutely terrible with the wire running down your wall. But luckily, SwitchBot also sell the SwitchBot Remote, which has 2 customizable buttons on it. You can pair the remote directly with the blind, and the buttons can operate the blind for you. I've replaced the wired switch with the wireless remote, and it looks so much better. And the other sore point is you will need a SwitchBot Hub to properly use it. You can control it manually using the app, but if you want to create automations for it or connect it to Alexa or Google for voice control, or even control the blind remotely when you're out of the house, then you really need the SwitchBot Hub. The good things then? Well, it was pretty easy to install. The instructions talked me through every step, and well, you saw for yourself that I managed to install it pretty neatly. There are a lot of steps in the instructions, so make sure that you read them properly before you start. And the fact that it will cut the material down to the right size for you is amazing. I normally buy a nearest fit blind if I can, because when I've tried cutting the material down myself, it's all gone very wrong. SwitchBot sent me the white version of the roller shade, which is clean and bright. They do also sell a grey version too. The marketing material they sent me says that you can replace the fabric with your own, but it doesn't support automatic cutting of your own fabric, sadly. Hopefully SwitchBot will release some other colours and designs of their own in the future, because I really hate cutting fabric to size by hand. Anyway, I'll stick some links down in the description to where you can buy the SwitchBot Roller Shade from if you're interested. It'd be great if you use my links if you do buy one, please, because I get a little bit of commission from the sale and it doesn't cost you anything extra. A massive thank you to my channel members and patrons listed here for supporting my channel. If you're interested in supporting the channel by becoming a member or patron, then I've put some links in the description for you. In return, you get early access to my videos, a shout out like these guys are getting, and some bonus content too. Please give this video a like and subscribe to my channel for free to see more from me. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.